Kia ora, Erana. Thank you for joining us today. Now, you play Laura Chant in the adaptation of Margaret Mayhew's The Changeover. Tell us a little bit about Laura.
Well, Laura is a 16-year-old girl. She is strong, confident, headstrong, assertive, knows her mind. She is in love with her little brother, Jacko, and the story really follows their love story together.
So you've mentioned some interesting traits. Do you relate to any of those? Do you think there were any similarities between you and Laura?
Definitely. There are quite a few similarities. I found, I guess, the parts of me that weren't Laura quite hard to relinquish when we were filming. But yes, I think I can identify with most of those characteristics, which is quite nice.
It's a pretty neat first lead role as a young adult yourself. You're in a sort of a young adult film, but she's just such a fabulous, strong, smart female character. That must have really appealed.
Oh gosh, yes. I feel like I'm aiding the cause, which is fantastic. And yeah, being the lead and really taking up the screen for pretty much the entire film. Yeah, I felt very lucky to be able to do that.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that soon because, it was a massive role. I'm curious, though, because you've worked with Miranda Harcourt before, so obviously she'd seen a little bit of Laura in you as well. How did you guys meet?
Well, she ran a professional level teen acting course out of a creative and performing arts school called Rata Studios. And I saw the course with my mum manages them, and she said, "Oh, this could be quite great when I give them a go." I was like, okay. And then the first day that Miranda met me, she asked to take a photo of me. Because obviously there was already a bit of a wondering and thinking about potential possibilities of Laura. And then 3 years later, I believe it was about 3 years later, I was cast as Laura. So it just came out of those classes and having that initial relationship with Miranda and being able to work with her every week for a few years that this opportunity came about.
And did you have to do a formal audition?
For
the part, for Laura.
Well, I auditioned for the tone reel, which we shot a year earlier, which was used for funding purposes. And then I guess being a part of that, it was probably like a 5-minute little short. That was kind of my audition, I guess.
Awesome.
They really enjoyed my work that I did in that and wanted me to play the lead in the feature.
Isn't it crazy? Do you find it crazy that, the first time it was, Miranda sees you and then it's 3 years later before you're even sort of, it's sort of happening. Does that kind of, how do you feel about that? Sort of the way sort of the film industry works, sort of nothing happens for so long and then all of a sudden it's kind of bang, it's all on.
Yeah, it really is like that. I guess for those first coming years, I just saw the classes as a great opportunity to do something that I love. And then I was like, oh, yes, okay, I could get an agent. And then I enjoyed being on set with the little bits and pieces. So hearing Miranda talk about the changeover and the ideas that they had around it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, great. This seems fantastic. And I was all quite, I guess I was just floating through it. I never wrote too much on it, and I never was, I will be the lead, and really got psyched out about it, I guess. Just kind of flowing wherever their mind was going with it was probably where I was at, which made things much less stressful and painless, I guess.
It's that old hope for the best but expect nothing, So how did Miranda then, how did she sort of prepare you for this role?
Well, for the years that I worked with her, I feel like I was secretly being groomed.
Right.
Which was great.
Yeah.
When we were really coming close to filming time, I had different classes with different coaches. I had a lot of voice work with Sylvia Rand. Yep. I did some movement courses with Tom McCrory, and I worked a lot with Miranda as well. And then we were in Christchurch for 2 weeks before we were filming. And I did a lot of relationship building exercises with the other actors, my mum, Nicholas Galitzine, who plays Sorensen, and especially with little Benji, who was my little brother Jacko. We did a lot of relationship building exercises.
And what does that entail? What do you do in a relationship building exercise?
Well, we had some funny ones. I met Nicholas down in Christchurch, and then the next day we flew to Queenstown and did a tandem bungee jump together.
Right, okay.
Really experiencing the intensity of the emotion that you experience together in that space, which was awesome. That we really connected closely after that. And with Benji, before I met him, I sent him a card and a little game that he then brought down to Christchurch, which we played with together. And I spent a lot of time with him at the house that he was staying at, cooking him dinner, putting him to bed so that I could build an at-home relationship with him as well as an on-screen relationship. And gosh, me and Benji just fell in love with each other. He's just a gorgeous little boy.
Oh, that is so lovely. It's really interesting because I'm not surprised that you were thrown into quite an intense situation with Nicholas, because you have a great on-screen chemistry, and a lot of the time it's when there is no dialogue or nothing's been said that you get this connection between the two of you. Do you feel that click when you're on set? Can you feel that click when you're shooting?
Yeah, definitely. Nicholas and I had a fantastic off-screen relationship as well. We were very close, and I definitely think that added to the kind of layered chemistry that there was on screen. But yes, when two people are kind of in a space vulnerably connecting, it is quite a you can feel it warm up inside you, I suppose. Which is such a special experience that I guess we were both kind of willing to let down the walls and the guards and all that stuff and just kind of be quite raw and open with each other.
It must have been so daunting walking onto set with the likes of Lucy Lawless and Melanie Linsky and Timothy Spall. I mean, what was it? Try. I know it's probably quite hard to articulate, but what was it like?
Oh, I remember having, just an ear-to-ear smile on my face on that day when I arrived on set, and it was all, everyone was cranking, even all the crew, they do this every day, and they've done it for years, and I just kind of rock up here never having done it before. So it was definitely, it gets your heart pumping and, your stomach churning a little bit, but it was really fantastic. I learned so much from working with people like Mel, Lucy and Tim. They were so generous with me and so aware that I was so inexperienced, and they really helped me through that and put me at ease with a lot of things and a lot of anxiety that I may have had around the way to hold myself and what I can ask and what I can ask for and the time that I may need as an actor. And they were so fantastic with me and kind of guiding me through that. So yeah.
Because it's interesting, isn't it? Because every director works a little bit differently, and you don't actually know almost what the protocol is, do you, when you walk onto a set, as to, do I appear I'm being a drama queen if I ask for this, or do I appear I don't know what I'm doing if I ask for that,
Definitely.
That first time is. Timothy Spall, I'm very fond of Timothy Spall. He seems such a lovely man and seems to be so prolific at the moment and things. Was there anything in particular that you took away from working with him?
I guess being aware that I'm there as an artist collaborating with other artists, being aware that when I'm on set, there are a few things. He spoke to me a few times because it can all get a bit stressful sometimes, and he took me away and we just had a conversation, and he just stressed to me that there's nothing more important for you than the relationship that you and I are having right now. He's like, that is all that matters. He's like, the lighting guys will focus on the lighting. Everyone else will focus on their jobs, and your job is just to focus on our connection. And it's very easy to get overwhelmed by everything else that's going on in everybody else's jobs. But I guess him saying that is all you need to worry about is us here in this moment and what's going on with us. And I think that was, incredibly valuable to me.
Really important. Are you sick of people saying, that you are the new Melanie Linsky or Anna Paquin or Keisha Castle? Or are you just going to soak that up and go, actually, that's pretty cool?
Oh, yeah, no, I'll definitely take that. Yep, 100% any day.
So what is the reality of your life like now? You're studying?
Yes, I am studying. I'm in my second year of university. I am just a part-time student so that I can make time for acting bits and pieces that I love and keeping my acting tools sharp, I suppose. I study Te Reo Māori and social policy and sociology. So that's my passion point.
Awesome.
So it's also because I definitely have two hats, I suppose. Acting hat and then uni life hat, and they're very different, and I love how different they are.
Well, I'm sure that your mother is very pleased that you're still continuing to studying while pursuing your acting career.
Yes, very much so.
You're being very sensible. You're being very sensible about things, but also they're great subjects to be studying for acting as well. So you've got the bug. This is something that you just love.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm actively auditioning for things and kind of reading scripts when I can and seeing, things that I'm interested in. I love how, I didn't know how long kind of the changeover journey would take me, and how much my life would change. But it really has, and it's really, it sounds cheesy to say that it's kind of changed my life in a way, but it kind of has, even my perspective on things. Intensively shooting every day, all day for 6 weeks is not an experience that most people have, and I feel very lucky.
Well, it's interesting because, as you mentioned, the film is this gorgeous love story between a brother and a sister. And it's also the story of a young woman who is finding herself, and I couldn't help but wonder, considering that you were maybe 17, 18 when you were filming
17, yes.
17, whether actually you two had that sort of similar experience, obviously without becoming a witch. But, an opportunity, as you say, an opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about yourself and grow and things.
Gosh, yes. Yeah, I came from out of a high school. I was in my final year of high school, and then I flew to Christchurch. So coming from being surrounded by 1,000 teenage girls every day to suddenly being on set in a very professional environment, I changed, leaps and bounds. My parents said goodbye to me at the airport and then came down 2 weeks later to visit me, and they said that I was just a different person. It has really changed my life. And every experience, I suppose, that I have adds to that. Recently, I was in China for a film festival to promote the Changeover, and I had a Q&A over in China, and I was thinking to myself that even standing up in front of hundreds of people in a foreign country and speaking a different language is, even experiences like that are constantly, growing me as a person, so definitely. And then coming back from filming into my final year exams. So it was a really interesting last couple months. Yeah, exactly.
Having to handle that,
But definitely shaped me.
The film has taken you to some pretty awesome places. Where else have you been apart from China?
Stuart, Miranda and I went to Rome International Film Festival last year. So we went to Italy.
Fantastic.
Which was incredible. And then we went to LA as well for AFM, American Film Market. So we were just to show this into distributors over there. So, and I'd never been to Europe. I'd never been to America.
Awesome.
I know maybe about 3 weeks ago, I just got back from China. So, we went to 3 different cities in China to tour the film and the festival, which was, incredible.
So how come they've gone to Cannes and they've left you behind?
I know.
That's terrible.
I know. I was like, God damn it. Yes, well, Thomason's film, their daughter is playing in Cannes as well, so they're going as a family, which is fantastic. And I think this was just been announced today that we will also be in Sydney International Film Festival. So
fantastic.
So Miranda and I think we're going to go over and represent the film in Sydney. So very exciting.
Isn't it crazy how there's so much preparation leads into a film. You shoot a film and then it just keeps going, even for another year. You still got to travel and you're still promoting and you're still talking about it. Well, look, hey, thank you so much, Erana, for talking to us today. Rialto Channel is absolutely thrilled to be playing the Changeover.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
I think just very quickly, another thing I'd mention, even though this is based on a young adult book, as an adult, I really enjoyed this film. I still thought it still resonated with me as an adult. I didn't see it as a young adult film at all. So
that's fantastic. I'm so pleased to hear.